welcome all of you to my YouTube channel, Animals and Pets with Partha. Since the dog show season is on, I would like to sort of continue with the series on dog shows. I'm just going to draw a little comparison from the dogs shows of yesteryears. There was a time when I was a very busy organizer of dog shows. And in my days, I can remember our entries is to open and within a couple of days we had to close the entries because we had achieved our limit. We could only accommodate 500 dogs, approximately 500 to 600 dogs over a weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Initially we had only one judge judging, and later on, of course, we had two judges, and they would judge two shows simultaneously. So I'm talking of times when in the early 80s, maybe late 70s and early 80s. Of course, the new club that came up was in 1984, of which I was the founder honorary secretary. Anyway, those were the days when we had difficulty in controlling our entries, because because we had to give, we would expect most of the dogs to be present. Practically all the dogs who entered would be coming, because dog shows were real fun. People, families, old families who were into dog game for many, many years, generation-wise, their parents were into dogs and they are into the dog game, and they would come with their families, little children, and it would be a sort of picnic. They would even cook food at home and they would bring it to the dog show, and they would sit with the dog. Winning or losing, of course, is important, but it was the camaraderie, the brotherhood that these dog shows used to spin around people of this city of Calcutta. Calcutta, as you know, was educated into dog shows much before anywhere in the any place in this country, because the British first settled here, and then of course the Kennel Club of India was first in Calcutta, and later on, of course, it moved out to various places, and then to Kunur, where it was with the goldsmiths. A major of Goldsmith, and later on Mrs. Goldsmith ran it until the time that she was alive. Well, dog shows at that time was a completely different scenario. But nowadays in dog shows, even after 40, 50 years, 50, 60 years maybe, the dog shows the numbers have dwindled. People are not interested to go to all these dog game centers, because what happened was, in those days, as an organizer, I would invite judges. We would invite judges, and then some of the judges would completely do things wrong. That would really disturb me. And say they would put all the best dogs would have lost and only a lousy dog would win in some breeds. And then later on, of course, the best in show and all that was different. Anybody could. But there were times when the top German Shepherd, which was winning at every dog show in the country with all the important judges, went 7th in class. Then what happens? You will find people, new influx of people who would say, we have beaten such and such dog, our dog is, and they would expect that same thing to happen again and again. Unfortunately, there were the people who had the money, but not the expertise, and they could buy anything for that. And then the syndicate, under whose control the dog game went into, and completely the total disaster into our dog game. Well, the facts are in front of you. The statistics are in front of you. In those days, we had, if we had 500 entries, which would be judged over 2 days, which would be 250, we would hardly have 5% or even less absentees. But now you have only about 10 or 15% who are present. So if you get an entry of 250 or 60, which is a big entry on paper, but then the physical presence of the dog would be 60, 70. So that is the situation of today, because the syndicate completely eradicated the entire intelligentsia, the dog-loving fraternity, the show-loving fraternity, the knowledgeable people. How could you do that? That is very simple. Now, if you sort of bring in people who are just interested in the fun and frolic, just the parties and the winning. That's all. They're not interested in to breed a dog or bring it out, rear it, and take care of it, and later on try and win with it. So not interested. They're not handlers. They believe in using professional handlers, as if the professional handler is all that is important, not the dog. So this has become the scenario, and rightly so. Today the professional handler is more important in the Indian dog scenario than dogs, because these handlers are the people who are going to bring in whatever little entry you're getting today. And not only that, those entries, out of which there will be people who will, of course, have clients, rich clients, otherwise they can't employ these expensive handlers, and all the advertising, and all the professional photography and everything. And they are the people who are going to sponsor all the dog shows. So the dog shows are sponsored because those people who pay are going to win. So this is how the entire dog scenario in India has been completely destroyed. Now, people who come to judge here, mostly from the European company, are all corrupt, mostly. I would say mostly, because there are few, of course, honest judges who are very difficult to come by. Once in a while they do come, but that is an exception. But majority of the dog shows just want a free holiday in India. And who wouldn't want a free holiday? I am traveling to various parts of India and outside, and I'm paying for my travels. If somebody else paid, why not? It would be fun. But the only thing, you have to be a corrupt judge, a dog judge, and then you have to have the right contact. You should agree to put up dogs that are sort of recommended by the organizers, who are going to foot your international bill, your shopping money, your traveling and sightseeing money. So now what has happened is, all across this country, majority of the shows, 90% of the shows, you have foreign judges. And they are just foreign people. Either they're Chinese looking, means they could be from any of these Asian countries, Taiwan, China, or any. But they're all under the European company. Over 9 these countries have started producing over 9 knowledgeable judges. Means young people, maybe I don't know how many years into the dog game, they would say, from when they're born, they all become judges. Means there are countries, small countries, I won't like to name those countries. Because that would be identifying, I should not malign anything. But they hardly have dog shows, 2, 3, 4 dog shows a year, and they're having 30, 40 judges. 20, 30, 40, 50 judges, doesn't matter, because they all want to go abroad, and they're all into the nexus. And the European company because India has hundreds of dog shows a year, so they can really accommodate 50, 60, 100 judges who can have a lovely holiday in different parts of India. Not only once, they come repeatedly. They're re-invited. They only need to be good people, nice to talk to, nice smile, good dress, and 1, 2, 3. That's all you got to do. You don't have to write any report on any dog. That's all been done and forgotten. Because in the earlier days when I started into dogs, we had a system of writing reports. And you could write, I can dictate quite fast, so I could do about 150 dogs report in a day. Well, but usually it is 100 dogs or so, which is comfortably done. But then nobody has to do that. Now, not only, see, earlier we had some senior judges coming. Now, because they have become old and they don't want to travel so much and come and do all this boring thing again, put up dogs that they are asked to, now they send their wives. Now they have become, great judges, and they are all being invited. And what happens to all judges? No need of judges here. So people realize, now real knowledgeable people realize that if you become a judge, you do become a judge, you have to spend lakhs and lakhs, hundreds and hundreds and thousands of rupees, means a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of effort. And after that, unless you are going to oblige clubs, you will not be invited. I know there have been judges requested me and just to complete 15, 20, 30 shows or whatever, they had to sponsor an international judge and to sponsor themselves, sponsor the whole show so that the judges, the organizers invite them. So this is the situation in this country. It is, this can't go on. This has to end. The earliest, we can't stop dog shows. We can't strangle this dog game. There are people waiting to come back and make this dog game what it was earlier, to bring back its glory. We have to get rid of this syndicate and all his associates and his stooges who have been polluting this dog game. I don't say the good ones, there are good ones, but who are under compulsion. They are having shows, and the shows are in control of a few people in the committee who are actually active stooges of this syndicate, and they are nincompoop stooges of this syndicate. So it is, the court cases are on. We are trying our best to free this dog game and cleanse this dog game. We must do it. All these shows, I am telling you, just have a look. See the number of judges. Now see, if you chase away people, now good dogs are not coming. They're not showing, they won't win. So what happened? Bad dogs are being shown. Only dogs that are going to win are being shown. So the judge has no choice. When a judge comes, he finds only 4 dogs in a breed. Could have been 40. They don't come because they're not going to win. So 4 dogs, he has to put the best whatever he sees. Now those are the dogs. Now I'll tell you one small incident that will give is an eye-opener. In 1985, when I first went to judge a show in a very big city in India, there was a person, a very senior person, a very, very dear friend of mine, much, much senior. He is no more, he's dead and gone. Now, this was my first show and he gave me my first invitation. I was really obliged to him, and it was an important city, the capital of India. Now, he once over discussion before the show, he says, I have a German Shepherd which needs a challenge. He mentioned, and then I never heard of him talk about that again. Then the show happened and I judged the show, and I had only one male and I had 73 females. So I put up that single male CC, the bitch of course was the best of breed, was better in quality. There were 73 or so odd bitches. Then later on after the show, it just struck me and I asked that gentleman, Mr. So-and-so, you mentioned you had a dog that wanted a challenge, that was one shot of a challenge to become a champion. What happened? You never showed that dog. He said, no, that dog has been shown and already won the challenge and become a champion. I said, that was the only one dog that was shown. He said, yes, we made sure that we don't take any male dog entry in German Shepherds. We made sure there was only one entry done, so that you have no difficulty placing that and giving it a challenge. So now, if you chase away people, if people do not come to dog shows, it is better for the group of stooges who are operating across this country and destroying this sport every day, and it is only money. They are not. Let me tell you, ask them one simple question. I will ask. And if they give a correct answer, a comprehensive answer, I will stop talking about the syndicate and its stooges. That what is the purpose of dog show, adding dog shows? If they can explain in their own words, I will accept it and I will apologize. So with these words, let's wait for our next episode. Again, it's going to be interesting. I did this in English so that all across India, all across the globe, People hear what has happened to India, and one single European company has completely destroyed the once which was one of the most knowledgeable dog game countries in this world, where judges of the likes of Stanley Dangerfield, Andrew Thompson, and many other judges like Dr. Boris Bushel, then Maxwell Riddle, many Michael Quinney, and all these people enjoyed judging, and we were stewards. And I remember I was steward under most of the foreign judges in my time, because they always wanted me, because I was always trying to oblige the judges and see that their job is easy, and that they don't have any difficulties. Because of course, as you know, India is a country where there are local languages everywhere, and most people do not speak English and is not trained. Of course, we've been blessed. We were I was in a school which was run by Australian missionaries, and naturally it gave me a little bit of extra knowledge on English, and I could converse. So that was an advantage. Thank you, and bye-bye, and see you again shortly. Bye-bye.